So in this video, we are going to be taking this thing to Windrock and driving it to the prison, but before we can do that, there are just a couple things I want to do to this thing first. I did buy some new rear tires for this thing, ones that have a little bit better tread than these tires. I do want to adjust the rear suspension a little bit to hopefully get it working a little bit better, but mainly I want to address some safety issues with this thing, because I have been reading the comments in the last couple videos of this project, and I do agree with you guys on how dangerous this thing is with my head sticking out, and there's not really that much protecting my head. I mean, I did add this roll hoop, but honestly I'm not really sure how much this would help if I rolled this thing over. And I've kind of had the mindset of before, if it's like, well, just don't crash with this thing and I'll be fine, but after driving this thing and realizing it's just, I don't want to be afraid of this thing. I don't want to be timid driving it. I don't want to be in fear of it's like, well, if I crash, is that the... I honestly, I don't want to say what I think would happen if I did crash this thing, and all I have is this to protect my head. Helmet, no helmet. Honestly, I don't think anything... it would not be good. Let's just say that. It would not be good, so... I think I should add a roll cage to this thing. Now, I'm going to make it to where this roll cage can be bolted off, so therefore we can still kind of preserve the look of this thing. If I want to show it off, put it around, take the roll cage off, and it'll still look like this. But when I really want to have some fun with this thing and drive it around and still be safe, we can put a roll cage on this and be a lot safer. So, because yeah, I agree with you guys. This thing is kind of a death trap the way it is now. Now, the mounting points for the roll cage are going to have to be here and here on, I believe these are called the A-pillars, and this corner right here and this corner right here, there's a pretty good amount of frame that we can tie into. I'll also have it tie into the roll hoop for added strength. All we're basically doing is having a piece of tubing going from here up, over, and then back down, and then we'll have two pieces of tubing going from that over and then down to here. I'll triangulate it and make sure it's nice and strong and everything. It is probably going to make it a little bit harder to get in and out of this thing, but it is going to make it a lot safer. Yeah, I think that's a good height. I don't want to have it too low and be banging my head on the bars. Yeah, also these, so this is right at neck level. That's one thing that really sketches me out about this thing. It's like, yeah, if I roll this, this will rip my head off. This thing is ugly. Oh boy, I hate it already. Yeah. Holy crap. Did I destroy the look of this thing? I absolutely hate how this looks. So I had to make it this tall because, right now, even with it being this tall, there's about 2.5 inches of clearance between the top of my helmet and the top of the roll cage. It also made it a tiny bit easier getting in and out of this thing, the taller it is. But I am absolutely hating how this looks. This is why I didn't do this before. I knew it was going to look like this. I knew it was going to destroy the Baja Bug look. Now it looks ridiculous. So I'm standing back and looking at it and wondering, like, is safety this important? You know, yes, safety is good. But do we need this? I mean, do we really need to have something like this? Man, it just destroys the look of this thing. So I'm looking at it, and it's like there's not really that much structurally to keep it from folding this way. So I was kind of thinking, what if I add a piece of tubing going from down here up to here? That'll definitely help strengthen up the frame, strengthen up the roll cage from folding this way. But does it help with the looks? Kind of. I don't know. It definitely helps with the strength of it. Now, like I said, my original plan was gonna have just a piece of tubing going from the corner of here and then going over, bending down and connecting to here. Same thing on this side, just go from here, bend it here, go down to here, and then have another piece of tubing go from here to here to bridge the gap. But I was looking at this and it's like I have the opportunity to copy the look of a VW dune buggy with this kind of style of roll cage. So that's what I did. This style is typical of what you'd see on a roll cage of a VW dune buggy. So, and this also makes it to where it's a little bit easier to get in and out. I can now get in from the side instead of getting in from the top. Because my original plan, I would have had to literally crawl on top of this thing and get in from the top. Now with this, I can get in from the side. But this definitely makes it a lot harder to get in and out of this thing. So, getting in and out of this thing is now a lot more challenging. You kind of have to put both legs in at the same time. You kind of have to... Yeah, a bit more challenging than before, but at least I can kind of get in and out. Now, I will admit, I do feel safer now with this roll cage, but when you're standing at it, when you're standing over there looking at this thing, it just, I know I'm repeating myself, it looks ridiculous. So right now there's a decent amount of space between the top of my head and the top of the roll cage. Once I have my helmet on, it's more like this much space. I wanted to have a decent amount of room, and the higher this is, the easier it is to get in and out. So I don't know. Part of me is just like, screw it, screw the looks, it's fine. Just leave it on for safety. The other part of me is like, no, I hate it. I want this thing to look cool and look awesome. I also want to be able to get in and out of this thing easily. And this definitely doesn't help. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not that flexible. So here's the thing, because I have been kind of pondering of removing this, pulling the tabs off, and not even showing this footage. But I think I should have this as an option for when I really want to get crazy with this thing, especially when I want to take this to Durham Town, because I really want to take this on the GP track and turbo track at Durham Town, and also the woods courses, the trails and everything, and I really want to get crazy with this thing there. I think I should have this as an option, so therefore I can be a lot safer with this thing. But for putting around, for showing this thing off, I definitely want to rip this thing off and not have it on here. So I think for this video, when we drive it to the prison, I'm probably going to bring it to Windrock, but I'm probably not going to have it on, just because the trails we're going on with this vehicle, they're not that fast, they're not that intense, and as long as I drive safely, I should be fine. So let me finish it in this video. I'll finish all the welding, I'll add the other piece of tubing, go from here to here, I'll add some more tubing going from here to here to triangulate this and make it a little bit stronger this way. I'll weld it all together and finish it, and then so therefore we can move on with the other stuff in this video. Now, before we put the fiberglass body back on and the roll cage back on, let's work on the rear suspension a little bit. Now, like I was saying in the last couple videos, I was pondering trying to get thicker springs for these rear shocks, because right now the preload is almost maxed out, and the rear suspension still kind of slams down under it doesn't do it when I'm normally driving this thing. It's only when I'm accelerating. The rear suspension kind of just slams down and kind of has that Carolina squat look to it. And I've been pondering, does it do that because that's just how this rear suspension is, or did I mess up the geometry of this rear suspension? I have no idea, but it does it pretty bad, and I want to see if I can try to do something to improve it. Now, like I said, I thought about getting thicker springs for these rear shocks, but because these are aftermarket, that's kind of a challenge. There are a couple companies out there that I can send these shocks to, and they will go through them and, properly set them up, but that kind of sounds expensive. So first I want to try just moving the bottom of the shocks, moving the mount a little bit further out, and we will lose a little bit of suspension travel doing that, but I think it'll improve the rear suspension and make it to where hopefully doesn't slam down under acceleration on this thing. Now, I know a lot of you guys were saying in the last couple of videos of this project to put a sway bar on the rear suspension because of how much the body rolls under cornering. But I kind of like it, and you have to admit, it looks really cool, this thing on 3 wheels going around a corner. I think it looks awesome. I kind of like it. I don't mind it doing it. So for now, I'm not going to add a sway bar, but maybe later on, once I get tired of doing it, maybe I'll add a sway bar to this thing later on. So yeah, let's move the bottom of the rear shock a little bit further out, and that'll hopefully improve the rear suspension. Now, I'm going to leave the original mount just in case we ever want to go back to the way it was, but I just want to weld on a new mount right about there. with adding this and this, but better to be safe than sorry. So, like I said before, I did buy some new rear tires for this thing, because these tires, well, they're not bad. The tread is just a little bit too close together, and on gravel, they just kind of spin like crazy, so we need tires with a little bit better tread pattern. So I went on eBay and bought these. This is actually the exact same tread pattern as the rear tires on the Grave Ninja, and yeah, you can definitely see the difference. These should be a lot better for the trails at Windrock. That did not want to come off. I've seen too many videos of tires exploding. I'm trying to pump them up. It always makes me nervous. Oh, wow. Yeah, that definitely stiffened up the rear suspension a lot. Nice. Alright, so I loosened up the preload by about 1 inch, and it's way, way, way better. Look at this. Yeah, I think it's perfect right here. So I just wanted to test to make sure the radiator's working, the fan is working. So far it was, with the fan on, it was a steady 117, 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So I will admit, it's not running perfect. It's hesitant on the throttle. If I just smash the throttle down, it just really dies. I have to slowly roll on the throttle to get it to rev higher. So I'm trying to figure out if it's running lean or is it running rich. I don't know. So it seems to be running pretty good with no load on it. So I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna take this thing for a quick little rip just to see if it's running good or not, because I may have time before we go to the prison to tune these carburetors if it needs tuning. But first I just need to figure out if it's running good. Yeah, holy crap, is this thing fast. That's actually the very first time I got to drive this thing in a straight line for more than 100 feet, and that was not even half throttle. Not even close to half throttle, so yeah, this thing's... So I know I built the roll cage for this thing, and I immediately took it off as soon as I got here. I more built it just to be safe with this thing, and we're just slowly driving this thing to the prison. I'm more here to just joyride with this thing, show it off, I'm not gonna get crazy with this. We're not taking it on any gnarly trails. We're taking it on just baby trails over to the prison, and I'm mainly here to just show it off. So I took the roll cage off. Yeah, I'm not gonna get crazy with this thing. So the temperature was running pretty good. It was around 180, 185, but according to Google, that's overheating for this engine, but that's normal operating temperature for a two-stroke. And it didn't feel like it was overheating, didn't feel like it was losing power, it felt like it was running fine. It's actually running really good. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to run. Yeah, this thing is nuts. And as you can see, we've also been having fun with the mini trophy truck project. This thing is handling these trails really well. I filled the Roto packs full, so we have 2 gallons with those, and then I've also filled the fuel tank. We'll see how much range this thing gets with that kind of amount of fuel. It's a little over 4 gallons, so we'll see how many miles we can drive with a full tank on this thing. Built it. It's a Polaris. Yeah, it's a Polaris XLT 600. It's a snowmobile engine. Thanks.
You done all that by yourself?
Yeah.
This is fast, huh?
Oh yeah. I know. We're only taking it to the prison.
Really?
told you it's hard for me not to go fast. Paul's gonna leave because could be better. I mean, they will lock up if I want it there. Same thing with the rear. Oh, it died. No. Come on. Come on. Ah, dang it. Come on. It ain't out of gas already, is it? No. Is it still recording? It is. Yep, it died. Now it won't start again. Wonderful. It died, now it won't start.
What was the temperature?
163.
That's good.
This is why I brought the bag. The suspension's really good on this thing.
Oh, it must be, because you were freaking flying.
Sorry.
Well, you're fine. I don't mind it, but it does its rules, and
I mean,
people
I'm only doing it when no one's around and when there's a clear shot.
There's actually some people you dusted back there.
Yeah,
They were on four-wheelers eating their sandwich, and they didn't look happy. And being you have a mysterious, you know, it's kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Let's double check it's getting spark.
No spark. No spark.
Are you kidding me?
No, not at all. Dead spark. Do it again. Yeah, she's dead spark. Dead spark.
What does that mean?
It means his coil pack is not producing spark, or his wires or.
Does that look lean or rich? It's hot.
Actually, not too bad at all
Really?
for a two-stroke. Not bad at all for two-stroke. Check that spark plug there while you got it out.
So I did bring starter fluid. Should I start?
What's that gonna do? If you got no spark, what's gonna make it run?
Hopes and dreams?
Yeah, if it was diesel, it'd be a different story. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause it's under combustion. It don't need spark plugs.
Alright, so while I'm editing this video, I'm kind of realizing that I'm not explaining that well to you guys what's going on. So basically, it died, won't fire back up. We eventually figured out that it's not getting a spark. I did bring new spark plugs, but that doesn't help if it's not getting a spark. And we checked all the wiring, made sure everything's plugged in, which it is, and we eventually, off camera, just started jiggling around the wiring. And eventually, we got 2 of the cylinders to get a spark. The outer 2 cylinders were working, but the middle cylinder still wasn't getting a spark, so it would kind of run, but not really that great. I kind of wanted to keep going and see if I could make it to the prison, but Paul's like, no, this thing's not running great. Let's turn around and head back to camp, which is a good thing, because, yeah, it was not running great at all.
Go. It's not gonna run.
Why don't you get in it and you start it?
I gotta get out and push. Ah. I was smoking the belt, so I'm just gonna have to run beside it and push.
Yeah.
So as soon as I start, because we're almost at the top.
We still got all up and down. No sense of blowing the damn thing up, Chris.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, stop. Once we get on flat, I think I should be good. All right.
Alright, just hop out into it.
I'll flash my lights if anything goes wrong.
Yeah, it won't be. I ain't gonna go that fast anyway.
Okay. Well, that sucks. The Baja Bug is getting towed. Yeah, honestly, this is why I don't do carbureted engines anymore. They're too much of a hassle. Fuel injection is just, it's so superior. The toe of shame. I hate having to get towed out. Better than pushing it out. So what happened is I was going down the hill and then it died. I thought it died because I didn't set the idle high enough and I keep having to flip the throttle, otherwise it dies. I thought I'd just let it die, but then it wouldn't start again. Then we pulled the spark plugs out and realized it wasn't getting a spark. We were messing with it and then we got a spark, but it's only sparking on the outer two cylinders. The middle cylinder isn't sparking. So then we got it fired up again and we turned around. And then it's just, because it's only running on two cylinders, not revving high enough to get the belt engaged. So well, that was fun for all of what, 20 minutes? 25 minutes? So once I know it gets to flat ground, I'm going to flag them down and we're going to try to fire it up again and see if I can drive it out. Just so I can leave here with my dignity. I think it's pretty flat from here.
If you want to burn it up.
I don't care about the engine room anymore. I appreciate you towing me.
I wouldn't leave you out here, that's for sure. Go ahead and start yourself, keep going.
So if everything's going good, I'll meet you back at the camp.
Yeah, keep going. I'll
Yep.
catch up.
Alright, I'm gonna try to drive it out. Here we go. Come on, baby. Well, it made it back. It made it back, but yeah, this thing's running on 2 cylinders. And it's heavy lack of power. I don't even know if this camera's still recording. It is. Well, that is kind of a disappointment. Yeah, only running on 2 cylinders and heavy lack of power. Well, and I know there's a good chance I blew this motor up even worse by driving it back instead of towing it back, but if this engine's already having this issue, I need something serious needs to happen. Either engine swap, complete new rebuild, or find a snowmobile engine that's fuel injected. Something, I don't know, but man, this thing is fun when it's running. When it's running strong, this thing is nuts. All right, now I gotta get that thing ready.